Welcome to the Activation Nation podcast, where we talk all things business, mindset, and momentum. I am your host, Mindy Trimble, and I am excited to be here with you today. And I have Victor Tafolla from our sales team. Victor, thank you so much for joining.
No, absolutely. Excited to be here with you guys. We have a ton going on, so.
We do. And Victor is one of our sales directors who works directly with the field and knows all the things and gets all the questions. So I'm thrilled, like I said, to have him here with us today and really kind of dive into like all the things that we have going on in May and even into June. We're going to kind of talk and maybe touch a little bit on we had a big month in April. We had Momentum Academy and some big things happening. So even touch a little bit on that. But we have, like I said, a ton of stuff going on. So let's just kind of dive into it, if that's okay, Victor.
Let's do it.
All right, let's start with one of the biggest things that we have right now is our quarterly incentive, our Achievers Reward. And, first quarter we had Achievers Retreat, which was so exciting. We had so many people qualify that are going to be headed to Whistler soon. But this one we have this quarter, our Achievers Reward happening. And we're 1 month in now, but still have tons of time right in the middle of it. Victor, we'll do a little bit of an overview, but what are you seeing from the field right now when it comes to this reward, or what are you hearing?
What I love is people that have already started to capitalize on it. Like we had, to your point, we had a massive month in April. Huge momentum, big energy coming out of the event. Like if you weren't in Vegas, you missed a massive opportunity just to be in person, to feel, see, hear, and experience that, because it was such a great event. Like it was electric. Like you could feel just the energy from everybody, which was incredible. But honestly, I think people walking away from that event and then just taking all the knowledge, the insights, the training, the education they got in Momentum Academy, but putting it to utility in the business, but also leveraging this huge piece that we have going through June with Achievers Rewards. Like it's a massive deal. There's a lot of money on the table when it comes to what's included in that. So it's just been cool to see people walk away with that excitement, but also just put that now into action, which is the key piece to actually find success with these two pieces. So.
Well, and I think the thing that's really cool that I've noticed is this, as we're, a month in and kind of all the buzz and talk about it, is how many things can be stacked. And like because you mentioned there's so much opportunity and money on the table. And really, when you think about it, there's so many things that can be stacked. That's really where it's at. And not getting, kind of narrowed or focused on one single item, but there's a lot happening with it.
No, definitely. And one thing that I love is that, again, we're in such alignment. And that was a huge takeaway for me. Like if you were in person in Vegas, just the alignment that you guys heard between the messaging from all of our speakers, regardless of which leader was presenting, which corporate executive was presenting, all of the story and messaging of where we're at, but also what we're shooting for right now was all in alignment with, we need to go find consultants, right? But also just telling the whole story, which that's a huge piece of finding those consultants. So it's very intentional in terms of like how it was structured, how it was put in place, and really the ultimate outcome and goal that it's giving you with leveraging that and taking advantage of it, with that being a huge focus of all of our leaders right now. To your point, like it stacks beautifully, especially for new people, but also even more so for those that are outside of their launch period, right? So I don't know if you want me to go through that overview.
Yeah, let's just kind of quickly touch on. And I just have to say one thing, because you mentioned like in Momentum, the stories and things like that I loved that, hearing everyone's breakthrough stories on stage. That was such an amazing part. So if you missed it, don't miss it again. Don't miss it, because I think we'll continue to talk about breakthrough. But yeah, let's just kind of touch on an overview of what the Achievers Reward is.
Yeah, absolutely. So easiest way that I've broken this down for people, and when we get into it, just to create simplicity, understanding at its base level, really the double sharing bonus. So there's two pieces, right? Two components of the Achievers Rewards right now. So first piece, it's essentially doubling your sharing bonus for going out, finding new consultants, but then also being able to capitalize on not just that new consultant you're enrolling, but their personal customer sales during that first month of enrollment, right?
Mhm.
So easiest way to understand that, it's essentially just mirroring the launch bonus period that we have here. And I feel like so many people maybe haven't made that connection or are starting to make that connection, where it really is just mirroring that period in time when you first launch and you have that launch period that you step into for your enrollment month +3. It's essentially that. If you're outside of that launch period, you're getting those same benefits of being a brand new consultant, getting double sharing and an additional 10% on your new consultants that you enroll,
Yeah,
and their customers they bring in during that first enrollment month, which is huge. And
it really
again,
is.
that's a lot of money that I feel like people are capitalizing on right now. And that launch period, right? It's set in place for very intentional reason, getting people quick wins, right? In terms of being able to pay you more than the additional or the original 10% that you get outside of the launch period for bringing a new consultant in. But also helping them get quick wins, right? During their first month of enrollment and getting some customers and going out and sharing and really focusing in on like those, what are those behaviors that you would want to see, right?
Yeah.
Displayed from a new person getting started, which is going out and sharing, talking about the story, talking about the company, being able to find some people they can enroll during their first enrollment month. So
Mhm.
all of it's pointed again, our era theme, enroll, retain, advance. Like you guys will continue to see that consistently through what we launch, just to make sure we have the right components in place. But yeah, that's the first piece of it, double sharing, essentially mirroring your launch period for going out and finding new consultants you enroll.
Absolutely. I love it. Well, we also have some other things happening. We've got, kind of coming out of Momentum Academy in Vegas, is we had some LTO products that got introduced while we were there. Um, and then we found out will be available to all to purchase. That started on April, what was it, 21st, I think.
Yeah, and you know what, Mindy, we actually missed our one of our biggest pieces in Achievers Awards is our rank advancement bonuses, our
Oh my gosh,
second
I
piece of
skipped
this.
it. I'm so sorry.
You're good. That's a huge piece. We gotta touch
Rewind,
on
and then
that.
we'll talk about the LTOs in a minute. Let's talk about
Yeah,
the rank advancement, because there are some really big numbers in there.
absolutely. And honestly, so between $150 to $1,000 on the line for people being able to
Yeah.
rank advance during this month going through June,
And
huge,
that's
huge opportunity.
on top of any of the other piece that you earn. That's on
Correct.
top of the extra 10%. So you could be earning that 10%, that extra 10% plus earning a rank advancement bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, for new people getting started, they're being able to take advantage of their launch period bonus, right? So getting to SC1 in your launch period get you $150 as a rank advancement bonus, already pre-built into our compensation plan for Evolve, right? So being able to
So
create
again,
some,
going back to, like, it's not taking away from any, it's
no,
building on top of.
on top of, yeah, in addition to, right?
Mhm.
And that's a brand new person being able to double up on that
Yeah,
in, again, over the course of the next 2 months and some change. Um,
yeah,
so being able to get not just their 150 from the Evolve compensation plan of hitting SC1 if you're brand new, but additional 150 hitting SC1 with the rank advancement bonus that's in place, right? So it's potentially $300 for a brand new person that's within their launch period that they could capitalize on through this incentive.
mhm,
And that's huge, right? People, especially that are going out there and wanting to get quick wins, getting as much as they can out of their launch period, or um, just our double sharing in general. But for those
mhm.
new people, that's a huge game changer, I feel like. And that's what I've heard and seen again here and through my career in network marketing. Like it's getting people a paycheck as quickly as possible so that it becomes real for them. And this is a
Yeah,
huge lever that I feel like it definitely helps assist in that area and making sure they can put some money back in their pocket. And most people, again, they want to pay for their first order when it comes down to it and they're getting started. So that's a great way to get that initial order and a massive portion of it at least paid for by hitting SC1 over the course of the next 2 months to double up on their rank advancement bonus and their Evolve piece with being in your launch period.
Well, and we've heard so many times, and you know, we've heard this on stage or in different places, but the percentage of if somebody hits SC1 in their first 90 days, the percentage of them continuing and getting MC1 and EC, all those things, like it goes up significantly um, to be able to get somebody those wins and hit SC1 in their first 90 days.
Yeah,
It's
no, massive deal for retention, definitely. And people just continuing to see what's out there and what's possible for them here. And
yeah,
one piece too, like again, it's phenomenal for those in their launch period because you get to double up on the SC1 bonus.
yeah,
So it becomes 300 versus the 150. But
yeah.
even for existing, there's so many people out there on, and this is going again to back up a little bit, but it's going based off of your recognition rank, right? So your recognition rank that's listed in the back office, that's what the bonus is dependent upon. So if you're rank advancing above that recognition title, that's the bonus that you're going to get paid. So real quick, there's a really easy 5-step kind of a breakdown that I've been talking to people about, been passing along to leaders that I've been doing trainings for, to find, hey, like if I have existing people in my organization and existing people that I know have volume, but maybe they've fallen back from their recognition rank, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe at one point they were SC1, but they're C2 or C3, consultant 2 or consultant 3 right now. How do I find those people? And how do I go through the process of kind of identifying where I can have those conversations, who I can reach out to? So a quick 5-step for you guys is go into your back office and click on reporting. Number 2, go into your detailed genealogy under that reporting section. Now, a huge piece that is a massive game changer for you guys, especially with this incentive that was added by a huge shout out to IT, by the way, and our BI team for working on this, and our FAB, because they were the ones that really helped to push getting this suggestion in, but also making sure that we had the right tools for you to find people in the incentive, was being able to add in the column section. So once you're in your back office, you're in detailed genealogy, at the top of that, you click on columns and now have the ability to add the recognition rank to your reports. So just making sure that's included, that's added in, it's going to help you rerun that report for your entire team to see where everybody sits currently. But also it shows where their volume is, right? So it's like, hey, maybe someone's 200 away from getting back to SC1, but their recognition title is consultant 3. So that could be 200 in volume that's needed. And now it's $150 in my pocket if I just go out and find those new enrollments or find that volume to get back to my lifetime rank, but over my recognition rank and getting back to SC1 and putting some quick money in my pocket. So really easy breakdown there, just to go find those people, sort them. Again, if you're handy with Excel, you guys can pull the Excel sheet off of your back office and do all the sorting, filtering, finding where those opportunities lie within your existing people, on top of obviously that huge focus of going out and finding new. So.
Oh, I love that. That's a great tool. Thanks, Victor.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's jump over and thanks for Victor's really good at always keeping me in check and making sure we're not missing any details. So thanks for doing that.
Got it.
Almost skipped right over a huge part of it. The LTO products, like I said, we introduced these at Momentum Academy and then decided, hey, let's open it up. We had such positive feedback. Everyone on Momentum Academy got to taste them and, you know, had such positive things to say and loved them. And so decided to open it up to the entire field. So we have our Tiger's Blood, which hopefully everyone, it's actually one of my favorites, Victor. I don't know which one's
No, agreed. It's up there.
Tiger's Blood flavoring is always a favorite of mine, whether it's on a snow cone or Axio. And so that one's a great one. And then we had orange cream and passion fruit guava. Which one's your favorite, Victor?
Orange cream is like, it's up there for me now. Like I wasn't 100% sure. But after trying it like that, again, I think that predated my time when that was around.
Yeah.
But I'm a huge fan. So honestly, orange cream is getting up there in my rankings. So
I do have to say I did love the I had tried the Tiger's Blood obviously before Momentum, and so between the two, I did love the passion fruit guava, but I'm kind of a passion fruit gal, so that one was up there for me.
No, they're solid. So if you guys haven't gotten your hands on them, like Mindy said, 21st they went live on the site while supplies last. So take advantage, purchase up. Make sure you guys get your hands on those.
And these are really great flavors going into the summer too. These are ones that you want to
Absolutely.
kind of stock up on. I think that they're ones that are great summertime flavor. So
No,
make sure you have
absolutely.
them this summer. All right.
Popsicles. I mean, tons of stuff you could do with these
Oh,
when it
so
comes to the
many
summer
things,
months.
right? I know,
Yeah.
I love that. Then we've got, this is a big thing. So as soon as we got back from Momentum Academy, our sales team, Victor, and the rest of the sales team are really going and hitting the road. So we have our activation tour, and they are going out all over the US and doing different events in so many different states. Tell us a little bit kind of about that, Victor, and what you guys are doing as you go out and hit the road. And I'm glad that we were able to catch you in between your trips. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm solo today because I feel like everybody's currently traveling out to events that are kicking off
It
already.
is
So
very quiet over there on the
it
sales side.
is. It is. Yeah, I know Francesca, Chofi, and Gentry Bean, our other sales directors. They're currently out. So again, intention of these activation tours is coming off of big events like our Momentum Academy event in Vegas. It's capitalizing on the momentum, right, and the energy and excitement, and making sure that we can make the most of that. Just to further training, further education, further all the excitement of what launched and what's going on right now in the biggest spots that we have for momentum and excitement. So I know Gentry Bean right now, he's out in Ohio. I believe Francesca is going to Arizona today. And then we also have coming up on, I believe it's May 2nd, you're going to have South Dakota, which I believe Francesca is going out to, Colorado, which I believe our senior director of sales, someone that you guys know and love, Skylar Fobbs, he's going to be out in Colorado. And then Albany, Gentry is going to be out there. And then I fly out on the 7th to do a couple events in Michigan, the 7th and 8th. So Portage, Michigan on the 7th, Ada, Michigan on the 8th, and then Atlanta, Georgia on the 9th. And what I love too is with these activation tours, we always have, whether it's a presidential or a top executive here that fly out to do those with us. So you guys aren't just hearing from us and the corporate messaging, but also the field messaging from all of our top leaders that we have in the field that are actively building, that you guys want to hear from, because this is by request in terms of who's going to those events. So you guys essentially get a hand select and hand pick who you want to see, those at least that are hosting these activation tour events, to take advantage of them, right? And their insights and knowledge coming off of a massive event like that, but also being able to get some really great insights and perspective on, hey, how are you putting all of what we have going on right now to use and utility in your business, right? And that coming from a top leader. So yeah, love these events. I know I'm going to be out in, my gosh, it's going to be New York. So Queens, New York on, I think it's 2 weeks after the 7th or 8th. So it'll be the 19th. We have an event with Bethia Williams in New York. And we also have one the following day in Philadelphia. So we're going to be there. We'll also have our presidential, Brandon Cunningham, with us, that you guys will hear and get a chance to meet, interact with, and get some insights and knowledge from. So yeah, definitely look on Big Blue Calendar, take advantage of what's going on right now in your guys' area. Make it out to one of these events though. Like they're ones that you guys do not want to miss. So make sure that you guys can find one that's close enough where you're willing to make that travel out. Maybe it's a couple hour drive. I definitely know it's going to be worth it. So yeah, if I was you, definitely make the effort with you and your team to get to these.
Well, and Victor, we've talked on today and on previous podcasts that how important and what energy there is with in-person events and being in person, like what an impact that has. And I think that we recognize that that's not always possible for everyone to be able to get to an in-person event, maybe because of the dates, because of travel, whatever it might be. And so these are an amazing opportunity to, if you weren't able to, or you had team members that weren't able to be at Momentum or different in-person events, these are a great opportunity to be able to get there, get around people that are in the same mindset, that are excited about something, to hear from different people than just you or just your leader. hear from different perspectives, hear different business strategies, hear, that kind of stuff is absolutely invaluable. And so it's really cool that you guys are going out and doing this. What an awesome opportunity, I think.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, again, we've talked about this definitely, but leaders are born at events, right? To your point, like it's just that one solid gold nugget that I needed to hear from someone different. Maybe I've heard it over and over again from my leaders, but someone said something.
Understand this.
100%. Someone says something exactly the same as what you've heard, but say it a little bit differently with some context or perspective added in. And it's like, okay, that's the unlock that I needed, and now it helps set people on fire when it comes to their business and where they're heading. So yeah, definitely make it out, because that is a huge piece. Like Mindy said, we're trying to spread ourselves out through the US. Regardless of where you're at, you should be able to find at least an event close enough, hopefully, that works for your dates. If you weren't at Momentum or at one of these bigger events, come and hang out with us and just have a blast. Like, these are super fun events, and I love going out to do these. So
Our sales team is pretty fun.
a little bit, I would like to think so.
All right. Well, speaking of leadership, that kind of takes us into, we had a huge announcement at Momentum that, and we had a big press release. We had all the things that I know a lot of us, if not all of us, were kind of on the edges of our seats waiting for, hoping that we would find out soon. And so we had our new interim CEO announcement and new CEO announcement at Momentum. Victor, let's talk about that. Like I said, this has been a long awaited thing. Amazing, Steve Fife announced that he was going to be stepping down, which we've all been so sad about, but so excited for him in this new chapter in his life. But it kind of has left a lot of questions. And so we finally had the big announcement about Michael and being our interim CEO, and then our new CEO. This is really exciting. And I don't know, I hope the field is feeling the same way. I know internally, we're really excited about this new chapter for us, this new step with LifeVantage and what it looks like for the future of the company.
Yeah, no, totally agree. I feel like that was probably the number one question that I got from everybody is, who's the new CEO? When are we announcing it? No, but to your point, yeah, it was one of those big changes, right? It comes with a lot of questions and a lot of people just trying to figure out what's next. But to your point, like the excitement coming out of that after the announcement was launched at Momentum Academy, and the press release and everything went live for filling everybody in on kind of what that looks like moving forward. I think I heard some sighs of relief, definitely, from everybody probably in the building.
Yeah. And then to hear from Michael, having him go up and share a little bit was really fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, he brought the energy. And what I love too is like you're bringing someone on, again, interim with Michael Benedorf over the next few months until we have our new CEO stepping in August. But Michael, someone that's, again, he has the history of where we've been, but also the context of where we're at. But more importantly, like continuing that vision of where Steve kind of has left off and where we're heading, right? And what really we're shooting for in the future going forward. So love that you have him with obviously our executive team and our corporate executive team and our C-suite that are kind of leading the ship right now until everything is final and the contractual obligations are fulfilled on Terrence Moorhead's side when he comes in, steps in as our new CEO coming August 5th, which again, I've had a ton of excitement around. Someone that's been in the industry for 3 decades, successful track record from where he's coming from, at least some things that stood out to me too. And one in particular is that he's coming from a publicly traded company, right? So knowing the environment that you're stepping into, knowing how to handle that piece, which again, there's not a whole lot of companies that are publicly traded in our space. So I think with a successful track record, multiple decades in the industry, being with his last company at a publicly traded company, I feel like is a huge step up or a leg forward or an advantage that you're really moving into this space with. And there's not such a learning curve when it comes to that. So yeah, cannot wait, because again, the success that he's had in the past and his track record and resume, I feel like speaks for itself, but also the context of how he's managed already in this type of an environment for a publicly traded is a huge leg up. So yeah, no, I'm excited for it. It's going to be fun. A lot of,
I think there's so much excitement and positivity coming from our internal team, our corporate team at LifeVantage. I hope that that is the similar filling out in the field, because as you guys can tell, we've kind of done a little bit of a deep dive on him here internally, and looked at his resume and all those kinds of things, and so we are absolutely thrilled about what the future looks like here. And yeah, I hope that that is felt out in the field, and the excitement is there too.
yeah, definitely heard it. I wouldn't have wanted to be that guy's notifications on LinkedIn come
No,
the announcement, because I'm sure they were just going constantly throughout that weekend.
I'm sure.
No, but yeah,
And he has to kind of keep quiet right now, and we are respecting that and understand that. But we're really excited for that August date to roll around, where I think he'll be very welcomed.
absolutely.
All right. Okay, so let's talk about some things as we are kind of rounding out of just some things that can be used as we're going into, gosh, I mean, I don't know about everyone, but May and June feel, well, and July, let's be honest, feel like really busy, crazy months. The weather is starting to warm up, spring, kids, all the kids things, sports, graduations, school, and there's so much happening with summer right at our doorstep. So, Victor, I want to just kind of touch on some things that everyone can use and utilize. We've talked about some things already, but to really just keep themselves in momentum, keep moving forward, keep kind of focused, staying focused, if you
Yeah.
will. So we have our Mother's Day promo. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, definitely. We announced this from stage in Vegas at Momentum Academy, but two great pieces to leverage right now. Again, everybody, I feel like, at least on the male spectrum, are planning ahead right now, or should be. Yeah, what do I get my wife? What do I get this? No, so we have our Mother's Day promo that launched, and that's going to be live and running with our buy two get one free for our Mango Blossom and the Vanilla Orchid hand creams. So buy two get one free for those, and
Nice.
then buy our True Refine and get one Vanilla Orchid hand cream for free.
And I can tell you, just from a woman's, whatever perspective, those lotions are amazing. I love both. I actually love the smell of both of them. I keep one in my purse. I have one in my car. And sometimes I feel like the mango, sometimes I feel like the vanilla orchid, but they're both really just nice, fresh, that go on good. Mothers will love them.
No,
So
absolutely. I love them, honestly. Like, I'm a huge fan of our Vanilla Orchid. That's an awesome go-to. And if you're a guy listening to this and didn't think Bath and Body Works was one of your first thoughts that popped into your head for gifts, you are lying to yourself. But now you have an opportunity to capitalize on what we have here with some awesome scents that are, again, great formulations and just smell phenomenal. So yeah, take advantage, definitely.
Okay, and we've got our Portugal launch, which we're really excited about that happening here at the beginning of May.
Yeah,
And
huge.
Victor, tell us, you've got a couple of, I mean, you know some people that have been working really hard to get that going.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been a long going in the making of making sure that we do this right. And I feel like we've hit the nail on the head when it comes to the pieces that have been put in place for it. Have an international background at my previous company, so I know what international expansion means. And it's a big deal. Like, it is a massive deal when you're in a region and starting to open up some of these opportunities for current, like, local field leadership within that region. But also, there's so many people in the US that I know are now sparking conversations for people they have in Portugal.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I know it's
so much behind the scenes that goes into making that happen. So this is really, I mean, we kind of throw out the date, but this is an exciting thing, that's because there's a lot that's gone into this leading up to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's again, a lot of it's coming from the continued growth that we have across Europe, but a lot of moving pieces to make this happen, and a few things, just products available.
Products that they can expect to be getting, because as we know, we start out with what we can get and then expand. So
Yeah.
what are we going to be starting out with in Portugal?
Absolutely. So it's going to be a couple, again, curated portfolio that we put together for that market. It's going to be True Science Liquid Collagen, our Pro Tandem NRF2, and our NRF1 that launches. So some of our key hero products that we want to make sure in the market, plus an NRF1, and we have some stacks that'll be available at launch. So you'll have the Healthy Glow Essentials, but then also our NRF2 and NRF1 Duo that will launch as stacks that people can enroll with. And a Healthy Glow pack, enrollment pack specifically, will be available. That encompasses your first year, the start fee, and the start kit that's included with that. So yeah, great products to launch with.
And then we have of course, as always, our open and close of the month call. We have our open of the month call tonight. So make sure May 4th that you are leading, or that you're tuning into that. We always have amazing leaders that speak on there, tons of updates, things like that. So make sure that you tune in tonight and watch that. And then our close of the month call, and just a little update on that so that everyone is aware. We will be having it on May 26th, which is a Tuesday. Normally it's on May 25th, but because of the Memorial Day holiday, we changed it to May 25th on Tuesday. So, all right. Well, Victor, thank you so much for joining and for being here, sharing all of the knowledge that you have. As you guys know, if you are out in the field and you work with the sales team at all, you know that they are just such a great tool, such a wealth of knowledge. And if you don't, plug into the things that they have to share and the business tips that they have, because they really are just a phenomenal tool here at LifeVantage, and we're all super grateful. So thank you, Victor, for joining. Anything that you would like to leave us with before we hop off?
No, honestly, it's just a huge month with the month of May. So firm believer that, again, knowledge isn't power, but applied knowledge is. So again, take advantage of what you guys have available to you, these huge levers that you can pull in your business. Get to some of those events if you guys can make it. Take a second and just go through Big Blue. And again, even if you can't, I'm sure you guys know people in those areas that would be able to come out and join us for those events. So absolutely push and promote that. And we will see you guys next month in June as we close out the month of May.
Awesome. Thank you, Victor. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of the Activation Nation podcast. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for future episodes and updates, and share with a friend or prospect that you think could benefit from today's conversation. Check the episode description for any links or disclaimers, and we'll see you next week for another episode. And now, the legal stuff. The sales earnings disclosed are potential gross earnings and do not account for expenses incurred in building a business. The average 12-month earnings of a typical U.S. consultant who earned in 2024 are $683. LifeVantage does not guarantee any income or rank success. A consultant's earnings will depend on individual diligence, work effort, and market conditions. Visit the LifeVantage Income Disclosure Statement for more information.